Bro, you will never believe who I got lucky with last night.
Lacey Powers?
No!
Dude, I bet she was all like, oh, Brad, I want that D.
We were making out, and I was like, can I take your shirt off? I just want to make sure everything we're doing you're comfortable with. And I got so lucky when she gave her verbal consent to have sex with me. Oh!
Your body, your choice. Wow, what a concept. Imagine if everyone understood the definition of sexual consent. Hi guys, welcome back to Misinformation. I'm Jordan Vallone.
And I'm Nevaeh Westwoods. It would be great, but unfortunately there's a lot of misinformation regarding consent.
I have never received any formal consent education. Never heard of it until the end of college.
They probably might hint at don't do this if a girl says no, say no, but it was never like said.
The truth is there are so many things that people don't understand about verbal consent, and that it stretches far beyond the realms of simply sex.
Consent is an ongoing process of discussing boundaries and what you're comfortable with. Stick around and let us inform you on the birds and the bees of sexual consent.
Guys, a woman who's dead drunk cannot consent. You are raping her.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
You are raping her.
We're gonna make this plain and simple and just list out a bunch of things that people think is consent, but really isn't.
Number one, what a person is wearing. Just because someone's shoulders are showing doesn't mean they're trying to.
This, and this doesn't determine consent.
Number two, assumptions based on what a person has consented to before. Just because they said yes that one time doesn't mean it's going to happen again.
Number three, how a person is acting. They aren't acting like they want it, you're just trying to rape them.
I said what I said!
Number four, consent to a different activity. Just because they went out with you doesn't mean they're putting out for you.
She's right.
Number five, consent at a different time. People change their minds. Consent at 8 p.m. doesn't translate to consent at 6:30 a.m.
Simple math.
Number six, consenting and then changing their mind. They may have consented to a really long ruler, but then saw it and changed their mind. And that's okay.
So size does matter.
Number seven, coercion. You can't intimidate someone into having sex with you.
Listen up, people!
If you have to be persuaded, reminded, pressured, lied to, incentivized, coerced, bullied, socially shamed, guilt-tripped, threatened, paid, punished, and criminalized, if all of this is considered necessary to gain your compliance, you can be absolutely certain that what is being promoted is not in your best interest.
Number eight, a yes from someone who is unable to give consent. If someone is blackout drunk, they can't give consent. How are they going to say yes if they're barely conscious or not even walking?
Yesterday, I slept with a cute boy. He was so drunk and so on drugs, he couldn't even walk. So you literally raped him? No, he said yes.
Number nine, not saying anything at all. Again, guys, you gotta hear that yes. If they not speaking, you not freaking.
Number 10, anything other than an enthusiastic yes. If they're unsure, then it's out the door.
Purr.
Consent for kids. Some people love to hug, and some people hate hugs. And each person gets to decide what they're comfortable with. Can a hug-loving person just start hugging someone at random? Nope. They need consent. How do people know if they have consent? They ask.
You guys just saw that clip. Consent truly needs to be explained to everyone at all ages.
The more we understand about ourselves and others while young, the better poised we'll be to give and get consent in the future.
The BBC reported that the majority of parents disagree with the concept of teaching children about sex and consent before they turn 13, meaning for the first 12 years of their life, they're misinformed about what consent is. And don't people understand that the older a kid gets, the harder it is to talk about sex with them?
You would think. The Harvard Graduate School of Education reported that early education about consent can help keep children safe from all predators. It helps children establish boundaries through the use of words like body, space, and trust, and lays crucial social and emotional groundwork. If you teach consent, kids will learn consent.
Some things kids can't consent to. They can't enter into legal contracts, they can't vote, and they can't consent to sexual stuff, 'cause they're kids. So if an adult does something that kids can't consent to, that's not okay. The adult is wrong, and it's not the kid's fault. And that's when it's most important to tell a trusted adult, like a teacher. Why? Because it's your body, and no one else is entitled to tell you what to do with it.
All of you watching at home may be asking yourself, are Jordan and Nevaeh really showing us a cartoon to teach us about consent? And the answer is yes. Yes, we are.
The simpler we make it, the easier it is for everyone to understand. Everyone has a body and everyone has a choice, and only you, with a sober and coherent mind, can consent to what others can or can't do to you. And remember, coercion can sound very sweet,
but that doesn't mean it's consent. We'll see you next time on Misinformation. Bye.
Bye.